I've been wearing Tecovas Cowboy Boots for a few months now, and I wanted to see if they actually hold up past the part where they look perfect out of the box. I'm Andy, and I've been around horses, barns, and Western wear for most of my life. I'm not saying that like I'm some formal boot expert sitting here with a checklist, but I've spent enough years in boots to know what starts bothering you after a few hours. I've had cheap pairs come apart, pretty pairs that hurt too much to wear, and boots that looked rough but earned their keep because they could handle an actual day outside. So when I'm looking at Tecovas, I'm not just concerned if they look cute with jeans. I'm looking at comfort, break-in, leather, construction, and whether I still reach for them once the newness wears off. The pair I've worn the most is the Tecovas Maggie in Scotch Goat. It's the square toe pair, and I've had it in regular rotation long enough that the leather has creased, the soles have seen gravel and damp ground, and I've worn them on full days out in the barn where I was not thinking about my footwear. That is when I can start trusting my opinion on a boot after it's been treated to my everyday life adventures. Tecovas is a polished brand, and I think that's part of why people give it a hard time. The stores look nice, the website is easy to use, the whole thing is styled in a way that makes cowboy boots feel less intimidating if you didn't grow up around them. And I get it, when something looks that put together, you start wondering if the boots themselves are actually as good as the presentation, or if you're just paying for the vibe. That was my question too. The first thing I noticed with the Maggie was comfort, and I was honestly prepared to be more skeptical there. Tecovas talks about comfort a lot, and comfort can become one of those vague claims that every brand uses until it stops meaning much. With these though, the comfort was noticeable in a very practical way. I did not have to spend weeks breaking them in before I could wear them for a full day. With many Western boots, I usually expect a little trouble at the beginning. I want to know if the heel is going to rub, whether the top of my foot is going to feel squeezed, or if the toe box feels fine at first and then starts crowding my foot by lunge. The Maggie felt wearable right away, but not in a soft sneaker way. It still felt like a structured Western boot. The square toe gave my forefoot enough room, the shaft did not dig into my leg, and I was not walking differently by the end of the day to avoid a sore spot. That was the first place Tecovas earned some credit with me. I do not mind breaking in boots if the pair is special enough, but I also do not think every good boot should require a painful introduction. If someone is buying cowboy boots because they actually want to wear them, not stare at them in the closet, easy early comfort is a big advantage in my book. After the first week, I started watching how the leather moved. The Scotch Goat leather softened in the places I expected, especially across the vamp where my foot bends, but the boot did not lose its shape. The creases looked like normal wear instead of damage. I like leather that starts looking more professional after use, and this pair has done that. The color has also stayed easy to wear. It's a warm without looking too flat, and the texture helps small marks blend in instead of making every scuff feel dramatic. I'm rough on my boots, so I appreciate it when they don't call me out. I still brush them off and take care of them, but I am not afraid to wear them. That is a big distinction for me. If a boot costs enough that I am nervous every time I put it on, I probably won't wear it as much. Construction's the part I paid most attention to after that first month, because that's where most of the criticism about Tecovas tends to be online. I checked the heel caps, the stitching, the sole edge, the shaft, and the spots where the leather flexes the most. Basically the same stuff I check on any boot before I trust it. On my pair, the heel caps are still seated clean, the stitching's still even, the shaft hasn't collapsed. I'm not seeing seams pulling open or anything that looks like it's starting to give. I'm not saying every pair that leaves a factory is identical. I've seen the complaints, stitching, heel cap sizing, color, customer service. I'm not gonna just wave that off. If I paid several $100s for boots and I felt like I had to inspect every seam before I trusted them, I'd be annoyed too. My experience with this pair has just been better than those complaints had me expecting. The Maggie's got Goodyear welt construction, a leather lining, a stacked leather heel with a rubber cap, and a hybrid leather and rubber sole. I like that hybrid sole more than I thought I would. A full leather sole is undeniably classic, but for how I actually wear these, gravel, damp grass, smooth floors, running errands, I like having a little extra grip underfoot. Those surfaces don't all feel the same under leather, but this handles the mix just fine. The Goodyear welt changes how I think about the price too. If the upper keeps holding up, you can resole it instead of just wearing it out and replacing it. I don't buy every pair of boots thinking I'll keep them forever, but when I'm spending this much, I want that option later. The longer I have worn them, the more I understand why Tecovas has become so popular. They're easy to buy, easy to wear, and the break-in is much gentler than people often expect from a genuine leather Western boot. That does not make the brand perfect, and it does not mean every pair should get a pass. It does mean the appeal is not just marketing, at least not based on the pair I've been wearing. The value question depends on whether the boot keeps doing its job after the first impression fades. For me, the Maggie has. It looks good after wear, not worse. It has enough structure that it still feels like a real boot, but it has not made comfort feel like something I had to wait months for. I can wear it for a normal day without planning my outfit around the boot or planning my day around foot pain and a big supply of Band-Aids. I would still inspect a pair carefully when it arrives. Put both boots side by side in good light, check the stitching, the heel caps, the leather, and the sole around the edge. Walk around inside before wearing them outside. If the fit feels wrong immediately, or if something looks off, I would exchange them instead of trying to talk myself into keeping the pair. That advice is not specific to Tecovas, but it is especially fair here because the brand is producing at a large enough volume that individual pairs may not feel all identical. The pair you receive is the one that counts. After wearing mine for months, I would buy Tecovas again. I would choose the style carefully, and I would still check the pair when it arrived. But I would not avoid the brand just because it became popular or because the stories are Instagram ready. The Maggie has been comfortable immediately, has held its shape, and has aged in a way that I like. It's not the boot I would choose for the muddiest, roughest day, and I would not pretend it is. It is the boot I keep reaching for on a regular basis because it looks good, it feels good, and does not make me think about my feet all day. So yeah, that's where I land with these. 3 decades in Barnes will teach you pretty quick what's worth wearing and what isn't.